Hey guys, it's your girl Chef Chai, aka A Little Taste of China, and I am here with my first ever food tutorial. Now, all of my Instagram followers have been asking me to start this YouTube channel, and I've just been, very busy with my work schedule because I am a known caterer in the Los Angeles area, and my schedule just gets really busy and I don't have time to edit. So today is my first tutorial, so excuse any mishaps. We're going through this together. If the editing looks a little crazy, the lighting doesn't look crazy, looks a little crazy, don't even worry about it. Over time, you will see that my videos will look better in quality. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right to it and get started. First things first, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I need you to click the subscribe button right now and hit that like button, okay? And then also turn on your notifications so that way you can go ahead and get any of updates when I make any food, because I'm sure once you see this video, you're going to want to come back. Okay, first things first, anybody that knows me knows that I love a good glass of wine as I'm cooking all my ingredients. So I've already poured a glass of Wilson Creek Peach Bellini. I really love it. It's one of my favorites, so check it out, try it out, really good. I'm not paid to say this, I just really like it, okay? Secondly, you wanna make sure that you have clean hands, so make sure you wash your hands and your area is cleaned off. I've already done all of my prepping, so I'll go over the ingredients and leave all of that in the description box, but you're gonna follow along with me, okay? So first things first, as far as tools, I am using a Dutch oven. When you're cooking beans and certain things that take forever, this kind of just helps the process for it to break down and cook a little bit faster, okay? You're also gonna need a measuring cup, and you're gonna need some measuring little spoons. So that way you can know the exact measurement, okay? You can eyeball it as well, but hey, this is how I do it. You're also gonna need, what else? A knife and a cutting board, of course. Now let's go over the ingredients. Of course, the main ingredient is black-eyed peas. So this is not the brand that I used. This is a 1 pound bag. I use, which I'm gonna put a picture up in a second, but I used Bayou Magic, and it seasoning pack in there, okay? So I like that one. If you don't find that Bayou Magic at your local grocery store, that is totally fine, okay? What you want to do is get just 1 pound of beans, and you want to go through and open this bag and just kind of search through and make sure there are no brown rotten beans. Sometimes they'll be really dark. This looks like a pretty good bag, but you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It'll look really black and really burnt. You want to really dispose of those. They're not edible, okay? Secondly, you want to get a pot. A cup or a pot or a bowl, whatever. I'm kind of tongue-tied right now. And you want to let your beans soak for a few hours, at least 6 to 8 hours. Mine have been soaking for a full 24 hours, okay? That's just going to help your beans cook faster. Anytime you're doing red beans, black-eyed peas, any type of beans, whatever, this will help it to cook faster by letting them soak for at least 24 hours, but minimum 6 to 8 hours, okay? Next, let's go over some ingredients. Now, you are going to need some canola oil. You won't need much. We're just going to saute some of our veggies. You're going to need 1 quart of chicken broth. If you don't, you can use all water if you want. I used half water and, water and chicken broth for mine. You can use some diced tomatoes. You can get this in a can if you do. You want to get a 14.5 ounce little can of tomatoes, or just go in and chop your own up. Doesn't really matter. Like I said, 1 pound of black-eyed peas. I used one little bitty, what do you call it? It's not a stalk, but a piece of the celery stalk. And I just chopped it up very small, okay? I also have a half of a brown onion, half of a white onion, and chop those up fairly small as well, because I just want them to melt down in the food. I don't want big chunks of it. I used a half of a red bell pepper and a half of a green bell pepper, and I diced those up small as well, because once again, we wanted to just melt down. And here I have about 5 cloves of garlic. This is totally up to you. If you like garlic, you can do as many as you want, or you could do a little bit less, or you don't have to use garlic at all. I actually love garlic, so I used about 5 garlic cloves and chopped this up. What else do we have here? You are also going to need seasonings. I'll go over that in a sec. As far as your meat, you can do black-eyed peas without any meat. If you are vegan, that's totally fine. I'm using a ham hock. Anybody that is not a pork lover, you can use turkey meat in replacement. You can use whatever you want, or like I said, no meat at all. I was taught like this, you know, my grandmother or my aunt, they made it with ham. So I'm using a ham hock. You're also gonna need some okra. If you don't like okra, don't worry about it. You do not taste anything slimy, I promise you, because I don't really care for okra, but it's a must-have in your black-eyed peas. Once again, it is not slimy. You will not even taste it a little bit, but for whatever reason, it does something to the black-eyed peas. If you just cannot do it at all, don't worry about it. Don't use it. I don't think it'll hurt it that much. I went ahead and cut off the tops. I have 4 pieces of okra, and I'm just gonna dump them in there. I leave them whole instead of chopping them up. That way, it's easier when I'm, you know, making my bowls, that I don't have to have little chunks that I'm like forced to eat. You know what I mean? I can just pull those out. If you like it spicy, you can go ahead and add any one of your favorite peppers, like a habanero pepper or whatever. Some people don't like that. Okay, moving right along, we are going to need some seasoning. So you're gonna need garlic salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, some chicken bouillon, some Tony's, or any one of your favorite Creole seasonings. It really doesn't matter. I'm using Tony's, a little bit of accent, and some celery salt, okay? And then also, like I said, I have this little pack from the Bayou black-eyed peas. So I'm gonna be using that as well. I will leave all the measurements down in the description box, and we're just gonna go from there. So getting started, we are going to heat our Dutch oven. As far as the measurements for your oil, you can use any type of oil you want. I'm gonna use canola oil because that's all that I had on hand, but you are more than welcome to use like an olive oil or a vegetable oil. It's totally up to you. I'm using a little bit. I don't have the exact measurements for this. We're just going to coat the bottom of the pan so that I can saute all of my vegetables, okay? So we're gonna let that go ahead and heat up, and then we're gonna add our vegetables and just kind of saute them till they get nice and soft. Now, once your oil is started to heat up, you can just flick it with a little tiny bit of water on your hands just to make sure that it is nice and hot. What we're gonna do is go ahead and start adding all of our vegetables. The only thing that you're not gonna add is your garlic. You wanna add your minced garlic at the end so that it does not burn, okay? That's very important. So let's add our onions. Our bell peppers. Make sure you get everything. I'm gonna go back. I'm working on a phone right now, guys, until I can get all situated. So I'm gonna leave these in one hand and add your celery. And just go ahead and give that a good mix. And your kitchen should already start to smell amazing. It smells so yummy in here. Now we're gonna keep our fire on medium high. You don't want it to be too high. And we're just gonna go ahead and cook our vegetables down a little bit till they're soft. And you don't have to let them get super, super soft, because trust me, if you've ever made black-eyed peas before, or you've been at someone's house and they made black-eyed peas, you know that this meal takes forever. These can take a few hours because you have to wait for your ham hock to break down, and the beans take forever just to get soft. So don't rush it. Some people even put it in a crock pot. That's totally fine. I like to do mine on the stove, but if you're working and you just want to throw it in a crock pot, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And same thing follows. You just probably want to saute your vegetables and then add it to the crock pot, put it on low, and just let it cook all day while you're at work. So now we're gonna go ahead and just let this sit here. It might take a good 5 to 10 minutes. And while that's happening, all you can do is just go ahead and start cleaning up. So all your extra bowls, go ahead and rinse those out and clean up your areas so that your workspace is nice and clean, okay? Okay guys, so at this point now, it is smelling so yummy. I haven't even added any seasonings or anything. Just the aroma of all these veggies just smells so good. So like I said, you don't have to let your veggies get too soft because it's going to cook down in the amount of time that it's going to take to do your black-eyed peas. So this is perfect. So now we are going to add our garlic, and you only want to cook the garlic for about a minute, about 60 seconds. Just toss it around in there. Don't let it sit. Just keep on moving it around. And now it smells even better. I cannot make this up. It smells so yummy. But just keep mixing it up so that you don't burn anything. You don't want to burn your garlic. That will leave a really nasty taste. So now we're about done with that. You want to go ahead and add your beans. Okay, and we're going to add all of your whole quart of chicken broth. And a quart is equivalent to, I want to say 4 cups, guys, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's equivalent to 4 cups. So 4 cups of chicken broth. And I am going to use 8 cups of, actually, let's see, 2. I'm going to get another cup. Be right back. So altogether, I am using 6 cups of water and 4 cups of chicken stock. If you don't want to use chicken stock, replace it with all water, okay? Normally, I probably would have did 2 more cups of water. I would have just, but this pot that I'm using is going to overflow. So as my beans cook and they cook down, I might just go ahead and add more water. I'll let you guys know as the video goes on, and we'll just see. We're doing this together, okay? So now you want to go ahead and add in your ham hocks. And keep in mind, you don't have to use 3. You can use 1 if you want, or none at all. I'm using 3 because I like that flavor. And now we're going to go ahead next and add in our diced tomatoes. And you see how it just gets even more full. So you got to be careful. Now I am going to add in all of our seasonings. And just give it one good stir. And then also keep in mind, guys, that I just lost my train of thought that quick. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, you also need bay leaves, okay? I'm going to add those at the very end, but it just does something to your beans, and it's super yummy, okay? So we give that a nice good stir. All that flavor is in there, and you just want this to come to a boil. So now I'm going to turn the heat up to high. I'm going to drop in my okra. And we're going to cover this. It's going to start boiling really fast because it's in a Dutch oven. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover this up and let it just do what it's going to do. Make sure you come back and check on it. So when it starts to boil, if the water starts to kind of steam out right here, you don't make a mess on your stove. You can go ahead and then turn it to medium high, and then down to kind of like a low, and just let it cook for a few hours. So in the meantime, oh, you know what, guys? I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. I am talking too much and moving too quick. If you got the bayou seasoning, then you're gonna go ahead and add that in as well. And if you didn't, then you're just gonna add the seasonings that I added, that I put down in the description box, and that's gonna be it. So later on, once these start to cook down, I will definitely be able to taste it to see if I need to add any more seasonings or if I like it like that. But as of right now, I think I have the perfect measurements, but I will definitely let you know as I check later on this video. But go ahead and add that. If you didn't get the bayou pack, just leave it exactly how it was. Put the top on, and yeah, just give it some time. Make sure you check on it, guys. Once it starts to boil, you want to turn it down so that it doesn't make a mess on your stove. So I will catch you guys back in a little bit. So now we are back. And as you can see, your black eyed peas have started to boil. The smell is, again, so yummy. So now you want to go ahead and give it a good stir. And all of this is going to cook down, guys. Still going to take a very long time. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is go ahead and turn this down to about medium. And then just let it continue to sit. And every so often, just come and check on it. Make sure that it's not too high and nothing is sticking to the bottom. You don't want anything to burn. and keep stirring it occasionally, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, turn this down, put our top back on, and go hang out. Hey guys, so I'm back, and the beans have been on, the black eyed peas have been on for about a good hour. And as you can see, everything is boiling. All those seasonings are in there. But our ham hocks are not yet broken down. These take the longest, but the black eyed peas do take long to break down too, or get soft. So we're just gonna give that a good stir. As you can see, the the okra has gotten really soft. It's gonna be very flavorful. The kitchen smells amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that. Like I said, make sure nothing is sticking into the bottom of the pot. And just go ahead and cover it back and just let it continue to go. These might take a few hours, but I'll keep you guys updated and I will be back in about another 30 minutes. And as you can see, it's getting somewhat of a thickness to it, which I like for my black eyed peas. I don't like a soupy black eyed pea. It still has to cook down and you'll get the full effect. As you can see, the okra did break down. It's totally fine. Don't worry about that. It is not slimy, none so ever. The ham hock has still not broken down, but it is getting a little bit more tender. So now I have just turned down my fire to kind of low. I'm gonna cover it and let it cook the rest of the way. So go ahead and handle something else that you need to handle in your household, but cover that up and let it continue to do its thing. All right, guys, we are back, and I don't know how long it's been at this point. The little wine done kicked in. I think it's probably been about 2.5, 2 hours, but as you can see, the meat is very tender now. It's breaking off. It can get a little bit more tender, but it is kind of falling off the bone. I've turned my fire very low just so it can slow cook the rest of the way, but it is tender, baby. This is tender. It is coming off the bone now. So now you just want to let it just kind of slow cook the rest of the way. I would say maybe another 45 minutes. I know it seems long, but anything that good is so worth waiting for. That's why you start early. You start about 11, 12 in the afternoon, and you work your way right on to the evening, and it'll be ready for dinner. I know that seems pretty long, but the taste and the flavors are going to be amazing. So we just want these ham hocks to get a little bit more tender. All that flavor to get in there, and I'm going to go ahead and eventually I'm going to take this part out. We're not going to keep that. All this we don't. We just want it for the flavor. We want some of the meat though. So we're going to go ahead and cover that back up and let it continue to cook. And I know over here you guys smell all that aroma. On another video I'll tag it. We are making turkey wings, baby. So I will go ahead and put that in the description so that you'll be able to learn how to make turkey wings. All right, guys, look how all the meat has fallen off the bone, the ham hocks. Oh my God, look how soft it is. It's just breaking now. Look at those beans, so yummy, so much flavor. Over a bed of rice, amazing. This part you can get rid of, you can dispose of. No one wants to eat that. Who's gonna eat that? But it gave a lot of flavor to these beans. But just look at this. It's so yummy. So at this point, your beans are done. You can serve this over a bed of rice. You can eat it just like this. You can serve it with a whole soul food dinner. You can eat this on New Year's Eve. They say black eyed peas bring good luck, baby. Whatever you want to do, you can do, okay? But it is done. Still have some juice, some thickness to it. The taste is overflowing with flavor. And we are done. So now I just need to make some rice and plate, and let's taste test. So lastly, as your beans are kind of cooling off, we just want to add about 2 to 3 bay leaves. Kind of mix it in a little bit, not too much, you don't want to break it up. But add that in there, give it a good stir. Let it sit so the flavors of the bay leaf can get into your your black eyed peas. And for about 5-10 minutes, okay? And then go back, give it another good stir, and then you can either take the bay leaves out or people can pick them out. It's totally up to you, but you do want to get that flavor of the bay leaf in your black eyed peas, okay? This is super cheap at the grocery store and lasts you a long time because you don't need many. The taste is very strong, so you don't really need a lot. So I added, I think, 2.5 pieces, okay? So now we are getting ready to plate our our black-eyed peas. You want to take a little rice. And look at this, guys. Everything has fallen off the bone. You can grab some meat if you like. And just go ahead and add it right to your rice. And look how yummy that is. Now it is time to taste test. Look at that yumminess. Just get you a good spoonful. And dig in. So flavorful. So good. I'm gonna stop eating it, guys. It tastes amazing. I want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Once again, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Share this video to someone. I hope it was easy to pay attention and take notes. And yeah, you're gonna take this to your grandma, your grandfather, your auntie, your great auntie, and they are gonna tell you who gave you that recipe because they know you ain't did it. So make sure you hit that notification button, guys, because you do not want to miss out for more videos. I love you guys and thank you for all of the support.